get in on this? You want to get in Daddy's lap? So you're on TV? You get in Daddy's lap?
Come on now. Oh, there you go. Is that better?
Hello, folks. I'm here at a go-kart shop near me, which in reality is nowhere near where I'm from. I'm from the Oneonta area, and Alex is down here in Corning, good 2 hours from where I come from. I brought my chassis down. He's gonna work some Carmody magic during the off season on it. It's a 93 EX Margay. I don't really think it's gonna throw Alex too much of a curveball with whatever he's got in mind for this. I've kind of told him what I want done to it, and other than that, he's kind of got a blank canvas to go from with this. But other than that, I'm also down here to chat with the dude. I haven't really talked with him since the Guardrail Nationals, which was a very, very tough thing for anybody that did watch that. It was even probably more tougher for you to realize that being that close, and you're literally, I think, coming to the white flag.
Yeah, we were coming to the white, and I felt it spit and sputter, and I reached over, and I like immediately knew it was carburetor, like something was with the carburetor, and I reached over, and I felt it like kind of dangling, and I tried holding on with my hand, and I was able to get it going again, and for like, I was like, I just gotta hold on one more lap, and I hit the washboard patch through there, and it caught my hand in between the tire and the carburetor, and it just, the rest of it was, pulled it right off.
No, yeah, it was, I will say it was rather interesting to watch your exit of your cart. I did get that, the whole backflip out. Like, I thought that was kind of neat.
That was the most devastating, just to have that all just fall right through my fingertips with lap to go. If it was midway through the race, whatever, I would have been okay. But
Yeah.
just one to go was like, wow. And then I was having, flashbacks of the year before the 212. I took the lead and I was ready to check out. And again, I think it was a lap traffic cart or whatever, and it ripped the front spindle off my cart. And
You've never won the 212, have you?
No.
I didn't think so.
I probably led the most laps of any 212, of all the 212s. I've led a lot of laps.
No.
Nope. Never pinned down a win.
No. Yeah, that was definitely a tough one to watch, the Guardrail Nationals. Then we came back 2 weeks later for the Dream with the Dream.
I had issues all day long.
And yeah, you were fighting. When I stopped and seen you, you looked like you were fighting with some things then when I spoke with you. I was like, I'll just kind of leave him alone. He's got some money he's going to be chasing, so.
Yeah, I ended up just said, screw it. And I think I left before the race even happened.
Yeah, you weren't, because you weren't there because I was going to come down and talk to you after qualifying, and you were pretty much already gone.
Yep. That was just a rough day. And I mean, it just wasn't the same because I went alone, so I didn't have my wife and kids there or anything. I don't know, it was just a rough day.
No. You didn't have your good luck charms with you.
Pretty much.
No.
Yeah, pretty much. I tell her all the time, usually when she goes with me, I'll pick up a win or something, but when she's not there, it just seems like it's bad luck all day.
Now, a little bit more about you. I know the interview we did very briefly. How old were you when you started go-kart racing?
6.
You were 6?
6 years old.
So you've been at it for
23 years consecutively. I've never missed a season. I've always raced every year.
Where'd you cut your teeth at?
Cook Mountain Cartway, which is about 12 minutes down the road from here. It's actually, as long as everything goes to plan, I'm gonna actually host a couple races there this year because the track has actually been vacant since like 2014, but it's all still there. Like, he shut the main breaker off and
Just
walked away from it. Everything's still there.
That's cool.
And his great nephew ended up buying the property. He moved down to Florida. His great nephew, I think it was, ended up buying the property. And I went down and talked to him. I showed up and he goes, I know who you are. Yeah, I know what you want to do. And as long as everything goes to plan with him and whatnot, I'd love to host a couple races this coming season there. Nothing, 5 or 6 shows or whatever.
Yeah,
be good. But yeah, there was
when your racing allows you to do it, because obviously you plan on going back out on the outlaw circuit.
Yep, I got to run the outlaw again. I had a lot of fun in that series. It was a lot of fun this year because it was something new. It was different people, different tracks. It wasn't the same consecutive BS.
Yeah.
And then there was no drama that rolled over from the week before. It was just, let's go race and have fun, guys.
Yeah.
And I will say I had a lot of fun because I owned, or I still do, I own 7 burst treaded tires. And the reason why it's 7 is because I share the left front for both sets. And I barely have put any wear on them.
Can't complain about that.
I can't complain about that at all. I got 7 tires and I ran a whole season.
On a
Yeah.
set of tires, right? And them karts ain't no joke. So if you're making a set last, then they must be decent tires because the motors aren't nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's fantastic.
They're not a clone motor. They're on steroids.
Oh, they're nasty.
They're on steroids for a 212.
And I mean, the fact that I was able to just have 7 tires for a whole season, and I was out here every night, all night, wiping tires, prepping them, and it was nice. Because you show up to, all you gotta do is just maintain your staggers. That's it. Grind them every now and then. Shit, I only ground mine maybe 3 times this year. Just run them, wash them and run them.
Yeah.
I think actually for the Guardrail Nationals, I was the only one to show up to the grid with dirty tires on their cart.
Huh. That's funny.
Yep, I didn't even wash my treads. I just showed up.
Yeah, I put a set of them on my ghost cart, and it definitely locks the cars down on the track because ghost motors don't have that much power. So to me, with them tires on it, I don't really see how much. They did add a little bit, but I was also dealing with a ill-handling race car too.
Well, I mean, stagger's everything, really. It's hard to just throw somebody else's tires on your cart and say, oh, yep, here we go. Because, I mean, stagger is everything on a go-kart. Like I said, like I was telling you earlier, I don't ever change, like, my hard chassis adjustments. Once I do all that stuff here, once my chassis is set at the track, all I do is change tires, which when I say change tires, I basically mean I'm adjusting my stagger or you change your air. And that's really all you should have to do at the track. If you're flipping washers and changing the axle positioning and all, that's all stuff that you need to write down and take note and figure it out at home on the scales, so that way when you go to the track you're not thrashing on trying to fix hard chassis adjustments.
Right. Yeah, that's one thing with mine, when I'd be sitting on the scales the way my front end is set up, that was what was nice. I could literally sit in my seat and adjust my front ends without getting off the cart or anything like that. So it was kind of nice to be able to take a minute or so, do the adjustment, and then sit back in the cart and see what it did to it. Like you were telling me there when I asked you, you're like, get it set where I want, and then turn the wheel 20 degrees in and see what it does. Well, I know what it does because I've done that before. It literally blows the shit out of the left rear. So I was like, oh, okay, well maybe my setup isn't too far off.
And it's funny because so like I personally rarely scale because I don't have anybody that I believe is competent enough to scale me. So I'm usually just the guy that scales everybody. But it's very, very rare that I actually ever sit on the scales and get scaled because, well, I'm like up in my seat trying to look at what they're doing, like where's the line at, where's this at, and they're like, just sit back and relax. And it's just, I don't know, I have a hard time being the scalee and not the scaler.
Well, it's when you've done things for so long a certain way, it's hard to actually put trust into somebody else that they know what you want them to do. It's not what they think it should be done, it's what you want them to do. And that, I know what you mean on that. That's something, it's almost like you want something done right, you might as well do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
Yeah.
And I live by that motto, because if you haven't noticed, I mean, I do everything on my own, by myself. I am 100% just do it yourself if you want it done right.
Yeah, if you guys probably noticing off to the right of Alex, and there's a whole bunch of clutch parts and stuff. He was kind of giving me a crash course in how they all work and whatnot. But yeah, that'll definitely be a video we'll do.
Oh yeah, for sure. We can do a bunch of clutch videos.
The whole far as building the clutch, servicing the clutch, setting the clutch.
The biggest thing I see with people always make a mistake on it is how they install the clutch. And I've tried to make videos for people to show them how the proper way to install your clutch, so you'll have minimum no problems ever, as long as you just install the clutch properly. Because that is the biggest thing. And then
now you're talking install what, on the motor?
Onto the motor. How to install the clutch on the motor. Because if you install it wrong, you can burn it up, you can throw chains, you just have a miserable problem at the track.
One way it's going to turn backwards, wouldn't it? Well,
you can run these inboard, or you can run the sprocket inboard or outboard on these. They can go both ways. There's just a separate spacer that goes in here. But typically, guys, when they put them on, they lock them down. They don't put any end play in them. So you got to have end plane on your crankshaft. You should be able to take your clutch and
just a little bit.
Yep. I tell people the simplest way to do a credit card width.
It's kind
Otherwise,
of like setting points on the old distributor. You use a matchbook stick. Yeah.
Yep. Otherwise, if you lock this all together, you're putting load on it, and you're gonna burn clutch discs up. You're gonna wear bearings out. You're gonna break drivers. You're gonna throw chains. You know, you're gonna do whatever it feels like it's gonna do. But I mean, everything. If you put them on properly, then you're not gonna have issues. And end play is one of the biggest things I see people doing is they don't put end play in them, and it's really
So
simple.
that little bit of slop is actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
It's a very good thing. I mean, I probably run between 60 to 100 thousandths of end play on my stuff. Where are you going? But yeah, I mean, and then I do wish I had one of my own personal clutches here right now, but I loaned it out because it is pretty cool. Because I built an all pure titanium clutch from scratch, and I mean it is a piece to see.
Now, that if you were to like that, what would that clutch be marketed at? If you were to actually turn around and try to sell that?
If I was a market, I'd probably be rate competitive with like the 5.3 titanium clutch. I'd $700-800.
Yeah.
You know, I'd just to stick true to what the market's at is I would do that. Now, if I was to just bill it based off of my time,
you double that, if not more.
Oh yeah, just the sheer amount of time that goes into everything in go-karting is. I spend a lot of time doing go-kart stuff. It's kind of what I like to do. And
right.
You have leftovers of the cereal, buddy?
Tracking the food out.
You'd think he goes hungry.
Now, that card sitting there, that's the card that failed you?
Yep, this is the card right here, the Guardrail Nationals. Yep.
That little blue boot.
Yep.
Vibrated off.
Oh, man. We'll get her next year. We'll be alright. We'll win them all next year. We'll win every race.
Hey, wishful thinking.
Hey, if you're not going to the track to win,
yeah,
stay home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I understand that.
If you're loading the door, when you're loading the trailer, and you say, "Yeah, we might get top 3 or something," or if we're just going to be a field filler, just stay home then.
Yeah, when you're at that level, pretty much. Yeah.
You're going. When I go to the track, I want to win.
Yeah, I go to the track, I want to win, but we had a couple guys that decided they were going to win all the races this year and not want to share any with anybody. So.
Hey, I gotta say, Collins did it fucking. It's a season that is like unheard of.
Yeah. He definitely he only lost a handful of races by the end.
Yeah, and the ones that he lost, he finished like second.
I was gonna say it wasn't like something happened or anything like that. He just flat out actually got beat or just the setup wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't think he had a single DNF. I'm pretty sure he had I'm pretty sure he finished at least top 3 in every single race. I mean, this is a season like this is unheard of.
Yep. Now, it also helps when you stumble upon a setup that works.
I wouldn't say stumble. They're definitely Jeff.
Yeah, but
Jeff knows what he's doing.
It was an idea that, like he says, he told me it was one of the ones where it's either going to make us a hero or make us a zero. He says it was such a wild thought, and believe it or not, I couldn't fucking believe it worked. I could not believe it worked. But no, it was rather impressive. It definitely was the class of the field. Between him and Dougie, they were 2 to beat in the Ghost class. Have you run the Ghost class at all much, or just a handful of times on somebody else's car?
Yeah, I've never actually built one of my own personal Ghost carts. I've never ran, but I've ran other people's Ghost carts here and there. Like it's been a couple years, but I ran Brian Mills's Ghost one time, and I actually won on it. But at the end of it, we didn't check weight or nothing, so I was like 5 pounds light. So.
Well, you're a lot smaller than Brian.
Yep.
So.
Yeah,
I
we did that.
See that.
I think it was the same year. I actually ended up running Brian Mills's car indoors also, and there was a caution coming. There was a caution 1 to go. I was leading, caution coming 1 to go, and Simpson on the restart was able to get under me and push me out wide, and he ended up getting the win there. And then I ran Brian Mills carts several times. Me and
You've had a
Brian.
little bit of experience on some sort of treaded tire.
Oh yeah, I mean, growing up in 2000, so I started racing in like 2001, 2002. Yeah, so it was like 2002, and we ran burst treads back then. That was a common thing. Some people ran slicks, some people ran treads. I mean, it was very common. And I ran treaded tires for like 3 years when I was a little kid. So.
Which I always thought the slicks, I always thought that was a go-kart thing, slick tires on dirt.
You know, that became the norm probably right around that era. You know, treaded tires went away and slick tires was everything. And well, then it was. Now slick tires and go-karting. Now everybody's got to own 50 sets, have them on cycle, have a notebook, have a tire guy, and I mean it's just. I love slick tires. I'm a tire guy, but I'm tired of buying tires upon tires and just it's taking the fun out of it, because who wants a trailer full of 50 sets of tires?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you said, you're playing a tire game. You go to a track and you better have a handful of sets, because what you thought is going to work might not work after a hot lap. You're like, we ain't using that set tonight.
Yep.
Yeah. So well, let's try this, see what this does in the heat or however the night's going. And yeah, I don't know. That was half the reason why I went to a Ghost, because I didn't like the whole prepping the tires. It just seemed like I was spending more time on tires than I was on a setup.
Yeah, and that's all it is. So basically, get your chassis set up where you're going to leave it, and then once you're at the track, you just pick tires. Change tires, different tires. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. The chassis setup is so. For a clone, this is how you should have your chassis. Boom, boom, boom. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. That's how it should be. And then from there, everything is tires. What do you got in the trailer for tires? And then prep. Oh my God, so many. Like I said, I got sheds full of go-kart stuff everywhere, and there's 3 cabinets, and they're tall cabinets, and they're completely full of prep from bottom to top, door to door, just packed full of prep.
You had a pretty lucrative prep by Carmody business going on there a few years ago, prepping tires for guys.
Yep.
Then I'd show up to action, and it was like, and you see guys coming out with all their tires, and it was like, oh, okay, that's what he's doing, all right.
I'm a washer, literally outside right there.
Yeah, I bet you'll find lots of them.
Just like our house, bud.
There's washers and nuts and bolts everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. Make sure you shut the door.
You'll find lots of them.
Okay.
Let me take it.
I'll try and look for more, okay?
Okay. Too funny. My kids did the same thing. They pick up all my stuff and bring them to me. It's like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
You want down, buddy?
Yeah, it's always, he's a good one for when I got to search for a bolt in the bolt bin. I dump it out, and he loves to.
So I actually,
through them all.
Speaking of Jeff, there, he sent me a really cool video the other day, and it was a guy took a metal 5-gallon drum, or 55-gallon drum, and he cut a hole in the top of it with like a funnel type of deal, and below it, he put just his 5-gallon bucket for nuts and bolts. So he would dump his nuts and bolts up on top, so he'd have the nice metal barrel, sift through it all, and then when he's done, he'd scoop it all into the funnel and go right back into his nut and bolt bin.
There you go.
I was like, man.
They're all in the same place. I keep finding them next to this.
Just go play. You'll be alright.
Oh, you'll find lots of stuff, trust me. And I don't want it all. All the old nuts and bolts there. One day my driveway will be made out of nuts and bolts rather than rocks.
Yeah, I'll be rust.
Yep. This here actually brought me a piece of lead.
Hey, that's gold in go-karting.
I've got like 600 pounds of lead out back that need to be melted down right now. I sold like probably close to that this season. Guys were buying up lead like crazy. But I mean, that's another thing. With weight classes, I think all the weights are too high. I believe all the weights are too high.
I don't have. All I know is whatever needs to be. I'll make sure I'm at or above.
Yep. But I hate seeing the drivers. And I hate to say it, there needs to be more classes, or like growing up, there was lights, mediums, heavies, so everybody had a place to where they could go.
Yep.
But now, since everything's basically like 375, seems like just the going weight for every adult class. And I mean, me alone, I run like 60, 70 pounds of lead on a cart just to get it up to that.
Yeah, I think I had what, just shy of 30 pounds on mine. Of course, my chassis is a
Your
tank.
chassis is a tank. But I mean, I hate seeing. I just wish we could get karting big enough again to where.
All right, just go. Yes, go play.
Put it all in a pile.
Put it all in a pile outside the door. We'll pick it up later.
So I just wish that we could get back to karting to where we could have a place for everybody a class for everybody. Because lights used to be, 325 pounds. It was a great class. It was also a great class for all the kids leaving the restrictor plates coming into, clone racing, or it was a good spot for them. It was the, amateur clone class. Because it was all a bunch of 15, 16-year-old kids that weigh 100 pounds. They were fast because they were light, they were fearless, so it was a rough, tough class to be in.
Right.
But it was a place for them to go to. Now you got them all bolted on 100 and something pounds of lead, which I personally just don't think is safe.
I look at it as you got a go-kart, you got the chassis. By the time you're all done, before you stick a driver in it, you're somewhere's in the
a race-ready go-kart's rated around 165 pounds.
I was gonna say you're about 160 somewhere's in there. Yeah. So if you figure, especially when you're dealing with kids, you can take in group, 6 to 8, I think is the junior ones or whatever it is, something like that. Out of that, you're gonna have a kid ranging from 50 pounds to 150 pounds.
Oh yeah, I've seen some big little kids, and I've seen some tiny little kids.
So it's like, how do you? I don't. To me, like you said, with the whole weight, maybe not so much not be an age class, but be weight. Yeah, your 8-year-old Johnny, he's 140 pounds. He's not racing against Patrick over that is only 50 pounds. No, they're not going to be in the same class. For one, your carts are going to be completely different.
Yeah.
And two, Johnny's never going to get his cart as light as Patrick's. It's just not going to happen.
No.
There's too much of it. So instead of having a junior 1, junior 2s as far as an age category, maybe have it as a weight category. This way, to me, it would fit the driver more. But then you get,
experience levels.
Right, and then it's like, well, if the kid's not experienced, well, obviously, nobody's experienced when they first hit the track.
Yeah. Hey, I was a rookie.
I was 40-some years old before I got behind the wheel of a go-kart, and
I
still look like a damn squirrel.
I was going to say, apparently I'm still a rookie, because I won Rookie of the Year this year in the Outlaw Series. When I saw that, I was like, man, this looks great.
How long has it been since you were called a rookie?
Alex Carmody, 20-some years of go-kart race, and here I am, I'm the rookie. I got a good kick out of that.
Well, and that's just it. Rookie doesn't necessarily go because it's your first time. It's your first time in that class.
Yeah, it was first time running that series, and which I gotta say, hands down to Cole Nelson for running that series. Like he is doing a phenomenal job.
I like the idea behind it.
He is doing a phenomenal job.
I like the concept behind it. It seems to be pretty cut and dry, simple. Here's a set of tires that you got to run on. You can do pretty much whatever you want to the motor as long as it still pull starts.
Oh yeah.
And how much you want to blow your shoulder out trying to start it, I guess, is pretty much what it boils down to.
Yeah. Towards the end of the season, it got to who can we bribe to start my engine? And it's like, who doesn't know that it kicks back if you don't pull it right? And it's a tank to pull. And we got Roger Swansboro to come over and pull that thing, and he's a big dude.
Yeah, Roger's no painted man.
And he came to me I think it was the next day after. He's like, dude, I think I blown my shoulder out on your starting your engine.
I remember watching the guys down there the one night with it, and I'm like, yeah, I will never offer to start that damn thing. And watch it. That thing had a hard enough pull to it. Some of them guys were leaving the ground as they were yanking it.
Oh yeah. But I mean, it makes it fun. It really does. Because like you said, how big do you want to build it? But you got to be able to pull start it. So
yeah,
it's a really good limiting factor. However he came up with that idea to limit it or whatever, when he was sitting there dreaming it up, then I think it was great. Because otherwise, if we could use electric starters, my engine would be even bigger.
Yeah.
Way bigger.
Yeah. No, yeah. When he started the class last year, I thought it was like, oh, this is pretty interesting, and it was nice to see he gained a few more this year going into it. You obviously won. That. What was it that interested you getting into that? You definitely weren't one that was for any sort of tread tire racing at go-kart at the time.
I know. I never.
You were one of the biggest attributes, like no tread tires on go-karts. Yep. I remember reading some of the comments. It's like, Yeah, Alex don't want to see treads on go-karts.
See, so it's not so much treads, because we run a Burris, we run a racing tread tire. I think mower tires on a go-kart is degrading to the sport, because it's a mower tire.
Yeah, I can see that, but
So I don't like that concept.
Yeah,
but
the affordability of it to me that's the whole idea.
Now you say affordability though, but I mean, like, I've been hearing guys that are running them, they're having to get new ones every couple races because they're getting below the squiggly line tread depth thing.
A lot of that is how aggressive they're getting between races and grinding them home.
So
that's the set I ran. I have 2 sets. I bought them brand new last year. This year, towards the end of the season, is the first time I've noticed any sort of wear on it. But that's also because I started doing a very minimal grind on it, and that was something I was told by a few different drivers. They come walking over like, "You don't grind your tires?" It's like, I didn't think we were really allowed to. Well, you can, just don't attack the damn things. It's like, all right, well. So I went home and I hit them with some 80 grit.
Oh yeah,
just to take some of the.
This little cubicle right here is my tire grinding room, because I grind tires a lot. But like I was saying though, the Burris treaded tires I ran all season long and little to no wear at all. So really, where's the cost savings? Yes, they're a little bit more expensive, but I mean those tires on a ghost cart would last 2 or 3 seasons probably.
Yeah, your biggest enemy would be dry rot.
Yeah.
That would, to me, would be your biggest enemy. But yeah, like I said, just tell me what the rules are. I'll show up and race. I mean, it's.
Yeah, definitely. So it was the reason why I ended up running Cole's series was because of Willie. Willie got a bug in his ass that he wanted to go run that series or whatever, and I was at first I was like, yeah, I don't really want to travel that much because that's. I was traveling out to Lebanon Valley.
Yeah, Lebanon, that's 2 hours from my house. I can imagine from here.
Yeah, so
that's a hotel room stay after the night's over.
Nope, I didn't. I stayed overnight one time this season, and it was out to Turkey Trot, and we even ended up getting rained out. And I was like, well, you know what? We got an Airbnb, whatever. Let's make a little thing of it. But yeah, otherwise I drove.
Wow.
Yep. Otherwise I drove. But there was like. Turkey Trot, I got home at 4 a.m. Lebanon Valley, there was like a couple 3 a.m. I mean, those two were the far away ones. I'd never been to Moose Mountain before, and that wasn't bad at all. That was only like 2 hours from here, north. So it wasn't terrible. I had a lot of fun running different tracks though. Like Lebanon Valley, that place is phenomenally smooth.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And then Turkey Trot, I grew up growing up. I ran out there a couple times. I did not remember it being that big and that different shaped. It's a very odd shape. And then you go on the track and they close the gates. So like you're in there. And then when you come off, where you come off, you hard right and you come out the gate. Well, on the back stretch where everybody turns to come off there, it makes like a little bit of a...
Yeah.
So you come flying out of turn 2 and you're getting some speed with these motors and it's like a freaking jump going down the back straightaway. I was like, wow, that was a lot of fun, that race. And I ended up starting pretty far back at that one. And Cole started on the pole, and he ended up getting a good lead out on me. And I had really nothing to reel him back in with the lead he had. And there was a late caution, and there was no reason for the caution, I guess. One of the flaggers threw it out accidentally. So it bunched us all back up, and I was able to get Cole. And I passed him, but he knew, so I took my little buddy there, Conklin, with me. And we were in a hurry because they ended up moving our race to before, like directly after intermission, whereas we were the last class after heats, and then they made us the first class after intermission. So we're like, all of a sudden they're like, oh, we gotta go. I was like, oh, okay. And I told Jaden, I said, set the tires. Well, we had like 18 pounds on the right sides, so I was fighting the whole race, and Cole knew that. And after I got the jump on him and got around him, I was like, all right, I can either like hub suck and just make him really have to work for this, or just race him and see if we. And he came in and he honestly, he got me good and he passed me clean and coming back and he was like, man, if you would have ended up winning, I would have been so mad because we only got bunched up because of that friggin' bullshit caution. So, I mean, it all worked out, but...
That's generally how it works, though.
But, I mean, definitely there's not a moment in that entire series where any of us racing were fighting with each other. We were always racing hard, and we'd come off the track and we were laughing and having a good time.
I definitely got that sense out of the guys at the Gardner Nationals. That y'all seem to be a pretty decent bunch of guys. Nobody seems to be a hothead or have the chip on their shoulder that I'm the man of the class or anything like that. And I don't really think anybody owned the series this year. Yeah.
No, I think Cole, he got like 4 wins. I got 3. You know, it was a good season.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I see he's hopefully adding a few more races to it this year, coming year.
Yes, he's adding a couple more. I know he's actually in the works of bringing the series to KB one time.
Yeah, I seen something that he.
Yep, I was actually on the phone with the promoter of KB as you pulled in, Jeff, because I'm going to be the race director at KB next year. I don't know how he talked me into that one.
What night is he playing that run?
He runs Sundays.
Sundays?
So I don't know.
Show, huh?
I don't know how he talked me into doing that, but he did. So we're going to do that on Sundays. And then, I mean, all of Cole's races are always on, Fridays or Saturdays, so it doesn't affect anything there. And the show that Cole's going to try to hold over at KB will be a Saturday show. So that'll be nice. But I mean, we're trying to get him some nice big sponsorships to draw. It's a lot of traveling for those guys. But then again, for me, in my point of view, it's like, let them travel once because I do all the traveling. Oh, that's the wife. Hello? Okay, hang on. I'll be right out. All right.
She's got groceries.
Yeah, she's got